Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do our usual, now becoming a bit customary conversation about looking at programs from my 40-year-old eyes. So I'm sorry about the lighting. There's a bit of light coming from every corner, but well, this is the time that I have, and so I'm going to have to use it. Okay, so today I am going to talk about one of my favorite, which of course so many people don't understand what's wrong with me, but I absolutely love Golden Girls. I still watch it all these years later. I'm looking forward to Betty White turning 100. I am so excited. I absolutely love that program. So I watch it a lot, and lately I've been watching quite a lot of it. There are videos on YouTube, and now I mean it was on when I was a child, so there are things that did not make sense to me, and it's surprising how forward the program is. I mean, it's just amazingly forward looking. I can't believe that women of that age were actually is having that kind of conversation during that time. So the first thing that I want to bring out is how open to their, because they were all women in their 50s, well, except Blanche, who was in her 40s. But I mean, they were all women in their 50s and 80 and 60s, and it was quite, it's the age where most people don't even think you have a sexual life, but they were quite open about it. I mean, Blanche was a bit too open about it, but they talked about it. They talked about the need for companionship. They talked about the need for living again when your spouse who you have been with for a very long time has died, and that was really forward of them because I mean, maybe people in that age group at that time used to talk about it, but it was just not something that's seen on TV. The other programs when women of the fifth of their in their 50s were grandmothers, and they were just portrayed as grandmothers. They were not portrayed as living, breathing sexual beings. The other thing that this came up, actually, this is the reason why I'm doing the video, was more because I was watching, yesterday I was watching the episode where Blanche's brother comes out. Then I kind of watched also the one where he gets married. And I found it interesting that at that time, I mean, it was in the 80s, so I'm imagining at that time it's already a huge deal. I mean, I think the way it was handled was quite progressive for the time. Of course, I'm also seeing a few things that people would have a problem with right now, but I think it was handled quite well. It was something that was talked about. Blanche had a weird reaction, but she eventually accepted her brother, and that was great. I think it was just very progressive for that time. Um, Now, a few things. Let's take a break from the things that I like, and let's talk a little bit about some things which I think were a bit on the troublesome side. So I found them. Um, well, first of all, I found out that on Hulu, which is where they are being streamed right now, that some of the episodes are removed, like the episode where Michael was getting married to an African American woman, and Blanche and Rose come out with the masks and stuff like that. So apparently, that was removed because it was considered blackface. I don't think it was blackface, because I don't think they were doing it to look black. I think they were doing it because they were trying to look pretty, and it was just happens that the mask was that color. And yeah, so it was the funny part because it kind of looked weird, but anyway, people have different sensitivities, and I guess that's the reason why that had to be removed. However, I did not like how that episode well, I kind of liked the fact that they chose to make it that the woman comes from a wealthy African American family, so that of all the stereotypes she has to deal with that they would have had to handle in that episode, they didn't have to handle the fact that they were going to talk about how poor she is, And it was I found the conversation quite interesting. And they said, funny, you never think about it the other way around, that it can be the black family thinking that the white boy is not good enough. So everything was different because they had a problem with her being older. The white family had a problem with her being older. The black family had a problem with him being white. And I think I don't think that's realistic. I don't know. I just think in the 80s, maybe I don't live in America, so I don't know, but I think both sides would have had a problem with the race. I mean, the race would have come up. Before they even talk about the age, the race would have come up. Okay. Well, a good thing is it worked out, and then I guess it didn't work out. The other thing that I've noticed now that I'm binge watching it is how there were quite a lot of inconsistencies. The first inconsistency is Rose. Rose kind of, I don't know, she just doesn't seem to know, and I mean her history just doesn't add up, because first, well, when there's a monk who comes over, she was adopted. That has never been it was never mentioned before, it was never mentioned after. Then she lived in St. Olaf until after Charlie died, and then she moved to Miami. From what she makes it sound, it's like this St. Olaf is a place that is just lost. It's totally confused and strange and everything. And yet she has a daughter who is going to Oxford. So where exactly did this daughter go to school? And then everybody who comes from St. Olaf somehow has a Scandinavian accent, but she doesn't, and her family don't. And yeah, and then of course there's all the made up words. I bet if I spoke Scandinavian, I would be very offended because those words don't seem like they sound. I have lots of friends who are Scandinavian. They do not even sound like that. What is that? It does not even make. I don't know. I don't know. They just don't sound. But I guess it's the comedy and it was, but they just don't sound right. Um. Then the other thing that was a bit inconsistent was Blanche. I don't know where Blanche starts and ends. I don't know because I don't know when she moved to Miami. Did she move there with her husband? Did he die when she was there? Was she living um, in the South, and then the husband died, and then she moved to Miami? But of course, that can't be true because when the son of the husband came, he had the right address in Miami. So I don't know. That's one of the things which are a bit weird. And then, oh yeah, strange. Then, of course, there's Sophia with all the inconsistencies. Well, when did she come from Sicily? Did she come with her husband? Did she meet her husband in the States? It keeps changing. But then again, Sophia also exaggerates lots of stories, so she might just be exaggerating them. And then there was one episode where her sister came, and then the sister just disappeared. And then all of a sudden, she had a brother. The sister was called Angela, and then she disappeared. And all of a sudden, Sophia had a brother called Angelo. Um, then there's the history of Dorothy being what? What was she? Exchange at birth, and yeah, that I don't know. I think that was a plot line that was just going nowhere. I feel like they kind of ran out of things. And then I made the mistake of watching a few Golden Girls episodes. Golden Palace episodes, and I was like, why didn't they just let this thing. I don't know who advised them, but that was not right. It was totally wrong. I just never liked it. Okay, now um other than that, I kind of feel like it was well thought out. I really feel like it was really, really well thought out. The women had normal issues, which most women can relate to. The older I get, the more I relate a bit more to some of them than when I was younger. But they had issues which still, I mean, still all these years later, still are relevant. And I think we can learn quite a lot from watching them and laugh quite a lot. I absolutely, absolutely adore that kind of friendship. The kind of friendship where you disagree and you fight and you hate each other, but they're still friends. I think that was the best thing to see. Like you can create that kind of friendship when you're old, when you have because they had all lost something. Dorothy had been divorced. Sophia, Rose, and Blanche had all lost their husbands, but they found something in each other, and that to me was just the amazing part that they all just enjoyed with each other. So thank you so much for joining me for this quick talk about. It was actually quite quick. This quick talk about the Golden Girls. I absolutely loved these people. And I look forward to us discussing one of my other favorites, um which I will talk about. Something that I watched when I was younger, and then now I'm looking at it through my 40-year-old eyes and I'm thinking, So see you all later, and I hope you liked the Sex and the City one, and now this Golden Girls one. And I'll see which other ones I can do. If you have any suggestions, just let me know. If it's something I've watched, I can review it. If it's something I've not watched, then I can watch it.